All right, hello everyone. It is finally playoff basketball time, and I'm here with my predictions. So this, as the title said, will just be the first round. Normally I'd probably do like the whole thing, but that's just gonna be really inaccurate. So this year I'm just gonna do round by round, so I can actually say like meaningful stuff as the later rounds will happen. So let's just get started. I'll go with the Eastern Conference first. So at the time of this recording, we don't know who the eight seed is, but it's either the Hawks or the Heat. Regardless, no matter who makes it, I still have Cavs in five. And for each of these series, by the way, I'm gonna have pick, of course, why, of course, and then a key prediction. Some might be better than others, but it's just might be something for the winning team or the losing team, just something I think. But anyways, the bottom East teams or the bottom teams for the East have no chance to beat the top teams in the East. If you just look at the Hawks, they are obviously not contenders. The Heat are not contenders anymore. And even if you look at the Magic, who we'll get to later, they're a young team, not contenders. So yeah, they have no like room to compete against the top teams. And defensively, and because of their depth, the Cavs are just way too good. In my opinion, they're too good not to make it to the conference finals. It should be them and the Celtics, I think, in the conference finals, because like who else is gonna compete with them? You can't really say the Knicks because they haven't beaten good teams in a while. But I still have Cavs in five. Yeah, their defense is too good. Their offense is can be very high powered with a very high ceiling. And my key prediction is that Cavs will hold whoever they play, Hawks or Heat, to less than 110 points per game. It might sound like a lot. I was gonna put 100, less than 100, but that sounds pretty unheard of. So I'll go 110 because I do think the Cavs will probably be scoring consistently around the 120 area. All right, so for the next matchup is the 2-7 Celtics versus Magic. And like the last one, I have Celtics in five for very similar reasons. The Celtics, this with this team though, they're a lot more experienced, a lot more top heavy, unlike the Cavs. So the Cavs have more of a bench, Celtics are more top heavy, but it's fine because it won them the chip last year. And they were still very dominant. I think they were close to winning 60 games, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I have Celtics in five because the Magic are they're still young. They made it last year as I think a five seed, maybe four, and now they're a seven. They kind of regressed, but like they still have no business competing or doing anything beyond this first round. So I don't think any series will be a sweep because obviously, with especially how the Celtics are, their shooting can go off or cannot go off. It can be really bad, which I think the Magic can capitalize off of. And the Magic also have a good defense. So those two things can kind of go hand to hand in the Magic's favor. But my key prediction is that Derek White and Porzingis, I think Porzingis is healthy, I'm pretty sure. But both of those players will have the most impact for the Celtics in this series. Not the playoffs, just this first round. Um, that doesn't mean Tatum really needs to like rest or anything. It's just I think Derek White and Porzingis will be so good um, that Tatum and Brown won't need to really do their usual work. Okay, moving on to the 3-6 matchup, Knicks and Pistons. So we obviously everyone knows the first two or the one and two seed matchups are going to be wins for the top teams. This one though, people have Pistons winning the series. Personally though, I do have Knicks in six winning it. Especially if you look at how the Knicks were last year, I really, really liked watching them in the playoffs. It was just a shame that just knocked down. Everyone just kept getting injured player by player. And they ended up losing in the second round. But on that note, I think they do win this regardless of their starters playing most minutes because they're used to that. I don't think it's a good thing until you get to the playoffs, but they're used to it. And the Pistons are they are good. They should be respected very much. But last year they were like the second worst team in the whole NBA, maybe the worst. And you can't really go from that big of a jump and expect to win a playoff series unless you like trade for a star, which the Pistons did not. They just continued developing and bringing in good role players to play around their already core. But my key prediction is that Pistons will shoot above average from the three-point line, but Brunson becomes his playoff self that we saw last year. Because as I mentioned earlier, it was fun watching them last year, mainly because of Brunson, how he was just scoring um, possession after possession, maybe driving in for a layup or like a step back jumper or just pulling up from three. So I do think he will turn it on, especially after coming back from that injury like a week or two ago. And yeah, respectively, the Pistons lose in 6 games. Okay, for the last matchup in the Eastern Conference is the 4-5 rematch from last year. I think last year was also a 4-5 in Pacers and Bucks. This series could really go either way from the information we have right now. When I was making this list like 2 days ago, it was before the Damian Lillard news that he was gonna come back. So originally I had said Pacers in 6 or 7, one of the two. And because I knew Giannis was gonna at least have a game or two that he would win by himself. I just didn't know if the Bucks would have a third one that maybe the role players chip in or the Pacers just really have a stinker. But now that Dame might not be back for game one, but if he comes back maybe like game three or something, I do think it now shifts to the Bucks winning in 6 or 7. Sure, Dame has to get the rust off, but you would still much rather have him then he doesn't play. So yeah, the Pacers um should not be slept on. I think their defense has actually picked up a lot as they're just known for their offense, but their defense has improved. And going on to my key prediction, I do think the Pacers bench will be the best out of the whole first round in the playoffs. I think they'll probably have the best scoring, and this means that they're better than teams like the Clippers, Cavs when it comes to their bench. But regardless, I still think it's going to be very, very close, a close series. As if Dame plays, I think Bucks win it in 6 or 7. And if he doesn't, or if he doesn't really come back to like game five or something, I think Pacers probably win it in 7. But now let's go on to the Western prediction. Okay, so for the 1 seed, the 1-8 matchup, again, it's either going to be Mavs or Grizzlies. I don't know yet. But regardless, I think Thunder in 5, just like the Cavs in 5. If it's Mavericks, I do think Thunder can pull off a sweep. They probably will, to be honest. But if it's Grizzlies, I think Grizzlies definitely take a game, maybe two. So I'm kind of meeting in the middle and saying Thunder in 5. The reason why Thunder are really no joke, even though they're young, maybe like a Pistons or Magic, they were also the 1 seed last year, and the year before that, they were a playing team. So they're slowly getting more experience under their belts, and their defense is amazing. They're winning multiple games by double digits, and their MVP candidate Shea doesn't really have to play in the fourth quarter at all, really. And I do think this first series will be used as like a building block or just a test for the second round. You could also say that about like the Cavs or the Celtics, but I think for the Thunder mainly, from what happened last year when they lost to the Mavericks, I think this will be okay. Let's see what we need to do for the second round against the winner of Nuggets Clippers. And my key prediction is Shea will not play much in fourth quarters because of the team being up so much, like I just mentioned like 30 seconds ago. It happened all throughout the regular season, and I don't think it would slow down now, especially in this first round. Because I mean he's obviously so good and the team is so good, but their bench is also good as well. If like Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Alex Caruso, if they're gonna start, I don't think they'll start the double big, so Isaiah Hartenstein off the bench. Yeah, I think Shea will rest in fourth quarters more times than not in this series. All right, the 2-7 matchup. These last three are all ones that could go back and forth. But a lot of people I've seen have the Warriors winning this series. Rockets Warriors are the teams. And I don't disrespect it. It's very, very much possible, but I'm going to say Rockets in seven here. That being said, the Rockets, I mean, at the end of the day, they are a two seed for a reason. They work their butts off. They play really good basketball. They have a deepish team. Um, the only thing that's holding them back is one, they don't have like a superstar like Steph Curry on the Warriors, and two, they don't have a ton of experience. The Warriors do. But I still think with how good they actually are and how good their defense is, how good they play as a team, I do think that will just scratch them or just get them ahead of the Warriors and by winning in seven, just because of how good the Rockets play basketball. And my key prediction is that Curry has a mix of high and low games. I believe before he had against the Rockets, he might have had like single digits, maybe like 2 points. Maybe that was the one Grizzlies game, but the Rockets have a ton of guys to throw at him, like Dylan Brooks, Amen Thompson, Fred VanVleet's not a bad defender. I don't know why Tari Eason would guard him, but potentially. So I think he battles with good and bad games this whole series. Maybe some high 30s, or maybe he goes like 8 for 10 from three. And then on the other side, the flip side, he maybe has like a 12-point game, or he shoots like 5 for 20 at the field. Regardless, though, I think Rockets walk out with a win. Okay, so the 3-6 matchup is Lakers and Timberwolves. This series, I'm giving it to the Lakers in 6 or 7 games. I just can't really see LeBron and Luca losing in the first round. I know obviously you have to have more than just those two guys, but they have some decent players around them. Like Austin Reeves is probably the third best, the best third option in basketball, and they have good role players like Dorian Finney-Smith, Hachimura. They just really don't have a big. And luckily, the Timberwolves aren't a team that can punish you like a team like maybe the Nuggets or the Clippers can punish you. We'll get to them later. But I mean, Anthony Edwards is still crazy good. Rudy Gobert has had some flashes towards the end of the season, so maybe that turns into something against the weak Lakers team when it comes to size and centers. But I still think the Lakers win because their star power just pushes them and carries them to the second round. And I do think JJ Redick will draw up something or have some type of plan. I know he's a first year coach, but he he just has a creative and experienced mind for the game of basketball. So I do think their star power and coaching carry them to second round, like I said. And key prediction is that in this series, Anthony Edwards is one of the best players out of the whole NBA in the first round. But still, the Lakers win. And not a coincidence, but the last series of the playoffs is my favorite Nuggets Clippers 4-5 matchup. This one could really go either way, but this year I'm very, very high on the Clippers, partly because Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player. You see the championship banner right there. He's my favorite player, and he's been healthy recently and been playing really, really good. And the Clippers are one of the teams that have good players off the bench and just a good, well-rounded or like well-surrounding team when it comes to surrounding their stars. Um, the main reason Clippers are more of a complete team, their defense is also great and their offensive potential is good. If maybe James Harden is struggling, you have Kawhi Leonard, you also have Norman Powell, and Zubac has been amazing, double-double machine, but he's improved a lot this year, this season. So you have guys, and then you have Bogdanovich off the bench as well for scoring. And then defensively, you have guys like Kawhi Leonard, Chris Dunn, Ben Simmons if he plays, Derrick Jones Jr. James Harden is not terrible, but he's not great either, but he's a big body with experience. So you don't really need to guard someone like Shea or Anthony Edwards with the Nuggets, because Jamal Murray, who knows how he's gonna play. You kind of just have to worry about Jokic And sometimes just Jokic can beat you, but this season, with the crazy performances he's had, his team has still lost. Therefore, I think the Clippers win this series in seven. And key prediction piggybacks off of the Jokic talk. I think he's going to average around 35, 14, and 9, but the team doesn't show up to help him. Maybe you get a few games from Jamal Murray. You get like a MPJ game, Aaron Gordon game. Maybe Russell Westbrook plays pretty consistently the whole series, but overall, like they're benched. The whole team will just not um, surround him with wins. Their coaching is also going to be an issue because they just fired their head coach who won them a championship a few years back. So that could be something to worry about. But yeah, I think Clippers win this series in seven. And that's going to be it for my first round predictions. What I was just saying about the Nuggets, I don't think I want them to be contenders because I do like Jokic a lot. I was not trying to slander him or anything. I think he deserves the MVP this year, four-timer, hopefully. Um, but yeah, that's it for my first round predictions. I feel like there's a good shot all of them are right, but with a series like the Pacers Bucks, Rockets Warriors, Lakers Clippers Nuggets, you really don't know. It could go either way. Um, so yeah, those are my reasonings, key predictions, and I guess I'll be back doing this in for the second round. Also, stay tuned for more videos.